Frieren, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, everyone and their moms knows about this stuff. No, seriously, my mom watches Frieren. But what are some underrated gems that are hidden behind these popular shows? So I'm gonna list down some underappreciated new gen anime, and by that, I mean anime aired after 2020 January that are worth watching. Let's go. This is like cyberpunk edge runners mixing in with some good old Ocean's 11. Welcome to Kanasai, a neon-lit city where flashy tech covers up a dangerous world ruled by deadly criminals called Akudama. Just as the cops plan to execute the notorious Cutthroat, a top-level Akudama who's killed 999 people, a mysterious message brings together a group of skilled bad guys to break him out. Now, they're forced to team up together while the entire police is chasing after them. The reason why this is so good is because it gives you what you want. Loud, bombastic action mixed in with a very likable cast. And sure, the character arcs and narrative arcs might not be the best, but the action scenes and the chase scenes make up for it. With some sharp dialogue, intense fights, and some moments that hit you right in the feels, this ride is worth taking. Sadly, I don't think this is the kind of anime that's getting a second season. Koichi Inugami, a detective who deals with creepy supernatural stuff, travels to a quiet Japanese village to check out strange attacks on farm animals. While investigating, he runs into Doro Tabo, a smelly, weird farm kid that nobody really likes. Inugami gets him involved in the case, and suddenly Doro Tabo discovers a secret world where people live alongside beast-like creatures called Kenmono.
俺が東京行きたいの知っとってやりおるな。仕返しのつもりか何様じゃ。おめえ親に捨てられてここにおるん忘れんなや。
Kenmono Jihin sneaks up on you like a surprise midnight snack. Yeah, there's some gore, but what really sticks is how the characters, especially the serious, quiet Doro Tabo, deals with confusing feelings. This isn't a full-blown shonen action anime, but more of a supernatural slice of life anime with some good action scenes dotted here and there. Besides, I like the chemistry between the main three characters. It gave me those old-school Naruto vibes.
俺はこの子を知らないが、名前だけはわかる。この子はカエル。そしてこの子の名前を思い出したことで、俺は自分のことも理解する。
I'm always up for a good mystery anime. In ID Invaded, tech lets detectives jump into the crazy minds of criminals by using cognition particles from crime scenes. But only people who have actually taken a life can go into these mind wells. That's where Akihito Narihigaso, also called Sakaido, comes in, a former detective who's now locked up and helps solve cases from prison. When he starts exploring these strange mental worlds and finds clues, he starts to see the killings aren't just random. They're part of something way darker.
ドアは内側から鍵がかかってた。窓もロックされている。胸を一突きして自害するだなんて。
Mystery anime is hard to do, but when you do it right, you get something like ID Invaded. There are these little clues dotted in here and there, and you get to follow along as Sakaido figures everything out. Because of this, the first few episodes might look boring and the events might look disjointed, but stay a few episodes more and everything will start to make sense. It's intense and kind of strange, but that's what makes it so unforgettable.
ブヒブヒ泣いてねえではっきり言わんかい。すみません。聞こえるわ。
Maids with guns. Now, that's a concept I never thought I'd see animated. Nagomi Wahira wants to work at a maid cafe, so she moves to Akihabara and joins Tan Tokotan. On her very first day, she's sent on a strange errand to a rival maid cafe and suddenly finds herself caught in crazy maid turf wars. Yes, this means maids fight like gangsters with guns. Alongside the calm and smart Ranko Manin, Nagomi learns that Akihabara's maid world isn't all cute. It's a messy, dangerous fight for control of the city.
目にまで見たメイド生活初日。私
This anime isn't just about maids with weapons, it's a funny take on old school Yakuza movies from the 70s. You got some serious mafia stuff, but with cute maid outfits and goofy moments mixed in. I don't even know how the writers came up with this concept. It's like someone watched The Godfather and Maid-sama side by side and decided to see what happens if they mixed it. And they did it well because the show does a great job balancing tough action with silly humor.
とにかく今のうちに逃げなきゃ
Meet Fuko Izumo, someone with the worst powers ever. Her crazy bad luck makes anyone she touches end up in total disaster. Sounds terrible, right? Then there's Andy, an immortal dude who's done with living and wants to use Fuko's unlucky power to finally find peace by dying. But instead they get caught up fighting against a secret group chasing people with weird powers.
だからもうほっといて私に構わず話聞いてってば
When I started Undead Blood and Luck, I thought, yeah, this is gonna be another generic anime. But the show grabbed my attention fast. It moves at a good pace, no slow parts, just 24 episodes that let the story and characters grow. Fuko and Andy change in ways that sneak up on you, going from simple jokes to moments that actually hit hard. I think that's what made me binge watch the entire thing in just a few days. Sure, the fights are amazing, but the main duo steals the spotlight every time.
妙なやつがいるな。何か底知れぬ力を感じる。
気づかれましたか。
3 months after the Demon King got knocked out, demons fight fiercely in a wild tournament to pick a new leader. Vamirio, a short-tempered demon and one of the 4 heavenly kings, is watching Helk closely. Helk is a human hero with a weird grudge against his own kind. Vamirio tries to stop him, but Helk's powerful and somehow always one step ahead. Then people start vanishing from nearby towns, making things even more serious. Vamirio needs to figure out what Helk's really up to before everything falls apart.
アスタは3つの町を回ったようですが、どこにも人間の姿がなかったとのことです。
何？
At first I thought Helk was just another silly comedy, but it turned out way smarter than I expected. The jokes in the beginning got me hooked, but really pushed me in was how it slowly built a good story underneath. The characters aren't just funny, they have surprising layers that keep you guessing. The art isn't super fancy, but it fits the fantasy world well. And despite being a comedy anime, Helk got some eye-watering action scenes.
バカな一振りで4人5人をいっぺんに妖術か
違う、妖術なんかじゃない。これは速さだわ。
I know this is technically a remake, but it's still one of the best samurai anime I watched. This is during Japan's big change in the Meiji era and follows Kenshin Himura, a wandering ex-assassin who wants to leave his violent past behind. Then he meets Karu Kamiya, the determined owner of a small dojo. They team up to stop a dangerous fake using Karu's father's peaceful fighting style for bad reasons. As Karu learns who Kenshin really is, the famous Batosai, she learns he is also trying to deal with guilt.
今からでは追いつけないでござる。警察に戦議される前にここは失せるでござるよ。
Now, I have only watched a few episodes of the original, and even though a lot of people criticize the remake, I still found it to be pretty good. This new version does a great job showcasing the simple characters, but the serious themes that made the original so good. And I like how Kenshin isn't just some regular goodie. His past pain affects everything he does. And this guy has a pretty dark past. Some of the battles here also end up pretty emotional, and overall, it gave me the good old 2000 era anime vibe. And since I'm one of those old as gold people, I have zero complaints.
なんだあいつすげえ
In a future where humanity is on the edge, the people live inside Decadence, a huge moving fortress always fighting monsters called Gadol. The society splits into gears, tough fighters who battle Gadol directly and tankers who back them up with support jobs. Natsume lost her right arm but doesn't want to be stuck doing easy work as a tanker. She dreams of being a gear and showing she's strong enough. At first, she's stuck with boring tasks until she meets Kaburagi, a tough old soldier who thinks she's got something special.
お前の仕事は倉庫の掃除だ。
もちろん仕事はちゃんとやります。でもどうしても戦士になりたいんです。
This show really surprised me. It's not about the cool world or the cyborg versus monster fights. It's how Decadence plays with game ideas but makes you question who's really in charge. Natsume's battle isn't about just fighting monsters. It's about fighting a system made to shut down anyone who doesn't follow the rules. It's got that Attack on Titan kind of twist where you think it's about people fighting large monsters, but it's actually about the people within the system.
青い空緑の木々真っ赤な血いつから忘れてたんだろう世界ってこんなにも鮮やかな色に満ち溢れてたんだな
Akira Tendo seems like he's got everything sorted. Top school, rugby star, a job he thought he wanted. But then work turns out into non-stop overtime that wipes him out. Then a sudden zombie outbreak spreads out. Suddenly, Akira doesn't have to go to his 9-to-5 job anymore. And he finds something crazy to fight for. With zombies everywhere, he drops all his office stress and goes after a wild bucket list of 100 things before the end.
ご了承いただきますよ何卒よろしくお願いします
Zom 100 isn't just your usual zombie show. It's full of energy and cool animation. It's more about one guy trying to have fun amidst a zombie apocalypse instead of the usual blood and gore. The bright colors make it clear that Akira is trying to break free from his old boring life. The jokes hit just right, and you've got a nice cast of characters too. I like how this anime broke from the usual zombie formula. No more fighting zombies, it's more about chilling and completing a bucket list.
そうや誰かに首絞められた後やつまり他殺の可能性があるいうこっちゃ
Shinpei Ajiro goes back to his tiny island hometown after his childhood friend Uisho drowns under strange circumstances. When he notices weird bruises on her body, he starts to think something fishy's going on. When Shinpei digs deeper, people start disappearing, and spooky supernatural stuff linked to a local legend about deadly shadows begins happening. He faces danger from these mysterious forces and races against the clock to save another friend, Mio.
料理やって
Time travel is a really hard concept to pull off, and that's why I have a special interest for any writer who does it well. Summertime Rendering starts off looking like a typical laid-back story, but quickly turns into a fast-paced mystery full of supernatural surprises and time-traveling twists. And this is also one of the best anime adaptations I've seen because it moves along smoothly and covers the whole manga without annoying cliffhangers. And, most of all, the time loop is done in a way everyone can understand instead of being vague and cryptic. This is my second favorite time travel anime right after Steins Gate.